Almost there. We'll pause that. Jackson. Good there. We're good here. I did not expect that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 269. 269 of Pitted with Action and Manny V. Steve Action Jackson impersonating Santa Claus. My cohort, Manny V.
What's up, everybody? I did not expect Jackson to show up like that. Actually, when he knocked on the front door, our door has a window with you can see through it. I just see a big, bright red, tall human on the other side. I'm like, oh boy, I wonder what's he's wearing, and this is it. So, Jackson, thank you very much for dressing up.
No problem. And yeah, not homeless Santa in the form of Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places.
Yes.
Which we were discussing about just a few minutes ago. But that's neither here nor there. Again, welcome to the latest edition of Pitted with Action and Manny V on Boog Life. And how you doing, brother? Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
I know. It's been 2 weeks since we've done this. And I took off to Hawaii for a week. I haven't done that in a while, where I just go and pretty much unplug, even though I didn't unplug. But it was cool to be in the warm weather for a week, and then came back home, and all of a sudden back into Baja Weekenders, taking the boat out. So busy, but not complaining. What about you?
Plugging along at the Custom X factory. Lots of boards to work on. A couple of big orders came through. And of course, everybody ordering up goodies for Christmas.
Nice. You told me about this special right now Custom X has got going on. Is it over?
We're done. Shipping for Christmas is done, but as an unannounced surprise for December, with every individual online board order, we were sticking in a 22-inch mini as a free gift with each board purchase. So, there were a bunch of people that I'm sure when their board was delivered, they opened it up and were, hey, what's this? Complete with a little Christmas tag with their name on it from Custom X.
That's pretty dope. Jeremy Harris, what's up? Chiming in from Australia. But yeah, busy December, and we're going to be coming up to New Year's. You got any plans?
Not that I can talk about. I'm working on a surprise for the end of the year. So I'll talk about that after we get into 2024.
Okay, let's do it.
So, shout outs. My shout out this week goes to my mother, Mary Jane Kroger. Her birthday is tomorrow. I love my mom to death. She's never really, in her younger days, she used to go to the beach all the time. Where we lived, she could pretty much walk to the beach where she grew up. There's one story I'd like to share. My parents never got the whole bodyboarding thing. Comments were made over the years when I was younger. What do you want to do with your life? Be a beach bum? Yep. Stuff like that. But there was one time back when I was in high school. I want to say 1991. So we're going back a ways. It's a week before this big end of summer contest is coming up. I've been training with my friends all summer long, pulling the whole Kauai Classic thing out in the water, running simulated heats, pushing each other. And there was one day I was at the beach, and there was this girl I had a massive crush on. She's like, "Can I borrow your board and fins to go out and catch a couple of waves?"
Oh, wow.
While she was out in the water, she lost one of my Churchills. I lost my cookies.
On her.
Not so much on her. I just kind of bit my tongue. I
Oh
was,
my God.
but I got home and I lost it. My mom's like, "You need to calm down." I'm like, "I've got a contest next weekend, and this girl just lost one of my fins. I'm supposed to compete with one swim fin on, and I'm so upset. I was practically in tears. I'm like, you know, even back then, I was dropping F-bombs like I had Tourette's.
Oh my God.
And without saying anything, my mom went and looked at the fin I had left and went to the local surf shop and bought me a brand new pair of fins. And for as long as I live, that memory will stick with me. My mom never really got my love of bodyboarding, but for her to be that kind of caring mother, I could never say thank you enough.
Yeah.
So just wanted to share that little story. It's great to have family support, even if it's just little passing moments here and there. And Mom, I love you. Happy birthday.
Awesome. Well, happy birthday, Mom. Shout outs on my end are going to go to everybody. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I was getting the post ready for Pitted through YouTube, and then I shared the link over to Patreon, then took that link and shared it across Facebook pages. And I went to my personal Facebook page, which I don't spend much time on Facebook. I think I need to now that there's a lot more things going on. But there was a lot of people that were giving me happy birthday wishes on Facebook, and that I didn't see for the past 2 weeks. So shout out to everybody who said happy birthday on my Facebook page and everywhere else. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, it's actually a pretty fun birthday. The timing couldn't have been any better. That week vacation I took to Hawaii with my partner, we were there and to surf and to like decompress. And Big Todd reaches out. He's like, "Hey, are you going to this on Sunday?" I'm like, "Well, I don't. What are you talking about? But Sunday's my birthday." He's like, "Oh, you have to go. The Hubbard's 20-year anniversary
10-year.
or 10-year anniversary party was going down on the west side of Oahu, which was about a 25-30 minute drive from where we were." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course. Like everybody's going to be there." So I got to see, well, of course, Big Todd. He actually uh, came with us, and we picked him up, and he got us a hotel room right near the park. So it was Melanie and her friend Aaron, Big Todd, and I. And when we got there, Jeff, Dave, their partners, their wives, their family, got to see Howley and Jade, Richard Cooper, and just the whole crew of the whole Jimmy Hutaf, like Aka Lyman showed up with Shawnee.
Oh wow.
So it was pretty amazing. And yeah, I was beyond grateful that everything just turned out the way it did. But yeah, shout outs one more time to everybody who wished me a happy birthday, including the Hubbards, the Hubbard brothers. During their video premiere of Decade, and afterwards they gave tribute to all the team riders, and also gave me a lei for my birthday. They called me up and gave me a lei. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Sounds like a pretty killer time.
It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Very unexpected, and that was the beauty of it.
All right, so rolling into bodyboarding news. First piece of news I have is Breaking Even TV. Craig Wetter and new world champion Tanner McDaniel, they had their video premiere on December 15th up in Orange County. And once again, like their first video premiere, the event sold out. And from what I understand, it was an amazing night. I really wanted to go, but I waited till the last minute. And once again, no ticket. And I didn't want to risk driving up to Orange County and getting barred to the door. So, congratulations to those guys for another successful video premiere. And again, once again, thank you and congratulations to Tanner McDaniel for bringing the title back to the United States.
Yeah. So Tanner and Dub and Araya, those two were celebrating on Kauai, and Tanner obviously was celebrating here on the California coast.
I am thoroughly convinced that there's something in the water on the island of Kauai, because Kauai has accumulated quite a few world titles. Heck, this year alone, 3 world titles on the world tour. So yeah, I'll be running a list coming soon on the Bodyboarding 101 blog that I'm starting to work on updating. I've actually begun the process of clearing out some of the more mundane, unimportant blogs that I've posted in years past. And I've actually been using the page for reference in terms of questions that the IBC World Tour has touched base on. And having guys like Dave Hubbard say that they actually use it as a resource for information on the history of our sport, that actually resonated and meant a lot to me. So again, that'll be one of the new blogs, all the world titles that Kauai has claimed in the sport of bodyboarding.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the late great Andy Irons, and yeah, again, there's something in the water in Kauai, I'm convinced.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you want a world title, I suggest you move to Kauai right now and start your training in those waters, because it could happen. I pulled up the Instagram for Breaking Even. If you haven't already followed them, breakingeven.tv, you can see some of the things they got going on there. So check them out.
And since we've got Instagram pulled up, this ties in nicely to my next piece of news. For those of you who have not seen it all over social media, from personal pages to Surfline, yesterday, New Jersey got one of the biggest swells that they have ever seen.
Who should I pull up on Instagram?
Pull up Sean Morin, SeanMorin. There were waves that were pushing 20-foot faces, and the conditions, besides the waves having some size and ferocity, water temps 49 degrees, air temp with wind chill 29. Yeah. So just imagine charging a 20-foot swell in a hooded 5 mil.
Oh man, I want to show you guys the photos here on Sean's thing, but I think it's a private. So
Gotcha.
who else can we pull up?
Well, the you know what? Pull up Surfline, because I'm pretty sure they've got some photos. Might not be of bodyboarding, but this swell event yesterday had the likes of Jason Bitzer, bodyboarding pioneer from New Jersey, Chuck Guarino, Sean Morin rather. These guys took it head on and were out there charging these heavy conditions. And Surfline was even hyping up. I mean, yeah, there it is, Monstrous Monday in New Jersey, the biggest, heaviest waves. Quotes like that coming from guys like Rob Kelly and even old school guys from the 80s. It was firing yesterday. Majority of the waves weren't makeable, and it was definitely a pay to play situation. Guys were copping beatings of a lifetime. But yeah, that picture right there, I'm pretty certain is Spring Lake Seagirt area. That pole is part of a drain pipe that goes out into the ocean. That thing's tall. Yeah, yeah, you can see these photos. Go back up. This is Cole Devaney. I've known this guy since he was a little kid. I managed his father's surf shop. I've watched him go from a little pain in the ass Grom shooting skateboards through the glass window at the front of the surf shop to becoming one of the best young surfing talents in New Jersey. Look how heavy that wave is. Look how thick that lip is. You know, if you didn't make these barrels, if you got lipped or you got pitched, like I said, copping the beating of a lifetime yesterday in New Jersey. And these guys did not hesitate to go after it. You know, just thick, slabby beach break barrels. Monmouth County, Ocean County went off. This is the photo I was hoping you'd pull up and show.
Oh my God.
This is Brendan Ty. He's a Jenks local. And again, you know, a surfer I've been watching since he was a Grom. Legit talent. When I first saw this photo, my stomach sank because I know what it's like to get pitched on a fairly decent sized wave, but nothing of this size or magnitude. And you know, that wipeout, I have one word: violent. It had to be violent. So you know, I'm stoked for all my boys, all the wave riders that were able to get out and score the goods. And you know what? Herculean effort to charge waves like this in those conditions.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
So I was fired up seeing all these photos. I was a little envious, but at the same time, I know the physical condition I'm in right now. If I had tried to make a go of that, they'd be planning my funeral right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know there's bodyboarding waves out there, Sean, we're in. I think even though Colin Hurley, he's a bodyboarder by heart, he was out there charging on some waves on his surfboard. But yeah, definitely give it a couple more days. You'll see more photos of it.
Oh, it's going to be all over the place. Yeah. And the great thing for everybody in the New Jersey wave riding community, there's another one headed their way. Another swell is in the forecast for the end of the year.
Damn. Yeah, they're scoring. But I would not want to, say the temperatures of the water in the air again.
The water's still a balmy 49 degrees. That's still pretty warm for winter in New Jersey. It would just wait till it gets down into the upper 30s, like 37, 38, 39. You know, that's where you feel each and every single degree of water temperature. You know, the cold water trickle is that much more intense down the spine. And yeah, pudding face, where your face muscles kind of freeze up a little bit from wearing the hood, and then you get home, you jump in the hot shower, and you feel your muscles relax and your face melt back down into place.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah. Yeah. You once paddleboarded in the river in Philadelphia, man. You know all too well what cold is.
No, I got some waves on the Jersey on LBI.
Yeah, down at the southern tip of LBI when that man-made wave was firing off 200-yard long barrels.
I was traumatized when that trickle of water, like when I went to duck dive wearing a hoodie, which I usually don't do. And instead of putting your head down, I had it up and water just went straight back here. It wasn't a trickle. It was a river of this freezing water. And right there, I'm like, do I go in and call it a day, or do I because another set was coming, or do I put my head down and try to get through this? And I mean, I stuck it out, got some waves, but man, I can't imagine charging those waves in that cold of water.
And like I said, you know, 49 is cold enough, but with the air temperature and the wind chill, I mean, even this morning, again, you know, the air temp with wind chill factor, it felt like 29 degrees out.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah.
Bodyboarding news on my side. Again, just the The shop.booglife.com store is open. Go check it out. Finally found a home for those Aaron Lloyd slides. We're just going to put them on sweaters, t-shirts, and coffee mugs. And it was the best idea. Thank you, Big Todd, for doing that, sending that message over. And now they're all available. The thing is, because there's so many slides, what I'm going to do is every 15th of every month, I'm going to swap those slides out, images out, and put 10 new images and 10 new pieces of threads, some gear with new photos every month. That way we can get through them all, because there's thousands and thousands of photos. So the December one right now is the bomb. There's all the old school guys are in there.
And I've seen and actually held in hand some of the merch he's made up, and the quality of the t-shirts and the hoodies, unfreaking real. I got to get my hands on one of those hoodies.
Yeah, not bad. I'm pretty stoked on the Printful, who are putting the graphics and everything on it. So there's that. And also shout out to the IBC. They're actually putting some pretty cool content out there, as far as some stories and some history and some cool things. But although you had to call them out on something.
Yeah, they actually listed Glenda Kozlowski as 3-time world champion. I love Glenda. I've hung out with her. I've had conversations with her. I'll let you in on a little secret. When I was younger, I had a big crush on Glenda Kozlowski.
That I think that is for pretty much every male bodyboarder.
But a major misconception, both in Brazil and elsewhere, is that she has 3 world titles. She won the women's professional bodyboarding world title at Pipeline in 1991. Her other 2 world championships were amateur events that were held prior to the first professional women's world championship in 1990 at Pipeline, which was won by Stephanie Pedersen. And so I politely just sent a message to the IBC to point out the error. But, I'm not holding against the IBC. Trust me, down in Brazil, Glenda gets referred to as a 3-time world champion. Technically, she does have 3 world titles, but 2 of them are amateur.
Okay, there it is.
And Glenda, if by chance you see this, I appreciate the conversations while I was living down in Brazil, and I got nothing but love for you, woman.
Right on. All right, so that's it for bodyboarding news on my end. IBC, keep throwing those stats out, and people are watching, including this guy. And shop.booglife.com.
Just to elaborate on what you're talking about, besides putting out some cool history of the sport information, I love how they've been, breaking down wave of the year rides, and some really cool stuff. Obviously, there were some great highlights from competition during this last year. One of the guys that was mentioned, somebody you gave a shout out to a few episodes ago, Robin Legros.
Nice.
You know what? This kid is somebody to watch. Manny's actually had the good fortune of meeting him. Robin, I hope I get the chance to meet you sometime sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Robin is totally the best part about it. Super humble. You can go up to him and just like instant friend. So if you get a chance to meet him, do it.
I tell you what, he's part of a whole new generation of upcoming riders on the world tour. We've talked about Robin, we've talked about Ethan Capdeville. There's countless others that are coming up that are the next generation of competitive bodyboarders. And I hope I get the opportunity to meet them, hang out with them, get to know them a little bit. Something I always enjoyed about working the world tour events, besides actually being at the events and watching firsthand and calling the action out in the water, is the downtime, either before, during a break, or at the end of the day, just sitting down, having a meal with somebody and, getting to know them better. I always make reference to coffee and conversation, but sitting down for a cup of coffee or a meal with somebody and just exchanging, or, sitting and listening to what other people have to say, you learn a lot, and it's always something I've truly appreciated.
Yeah, that was one of my best parts too of doing the commentating was the off-air time where you're doing cool shit with everybody. So I'm right there with you.
All right, so now let's get into the video of the week.
Mhm.
I mentioned it earlier, Breaking Even 2, the video premiere up in Orange County, sold out on December 15th. That would have been one hell of a Friday night to be hanging out up in the OC. But here's the teaser trailer for it. Hopefully they'll load this on the YouTube sometime shortly after the new year, because I'm dying to see the video. The teaser did its job. It wet my whistle. I'm ready for more.
Let's do it. That volume up. Oh, sick.
Yeah, I don't know Craig that well, but he seems like a really cool guy from the limited interaction I've had with him. Tanner, we met Tanner when he was 12 years old. And, I've had the good fortune of being able to hang out and, you know, see him compete over the years everywhere from New Jersey to South America and Hawaii. And you know what? Like I said, I can't wait to see this whole video. I was just, yeah. When you guys do Breaking Even 3, I will make sure to get a ticket in advance so I can actually make it up and get into the event.
Yeah, I mean, I was out of town. I was in Baja with a group, but from the looks of it, they're going to do pretty well on getting this out there and getting as many eyes on it. My favorite part about just that little clip is California. There's a lot of California in there, and I love that because when was the last time that's happened?
You know what? One of the things I love about living out here in Southern California the last couple of years, there is so much talent. The depth of talent is unbelievable. And getting to watch guys, at all the top breaks, that I've been to so far, like Salt Creek, T Street, 40th Street, the wedge, especially the guys that charge the wedge, like Craig and Tanner, and countless others, Nick Borgens, I could rattle off an endless list of names of guys that just absolutely rip and charge. And I love being able to interact amongst it all because obviously I'm not getting any younger. I'm kind of like the OG, Uncle Steve, or whatever you want to refer to me as. Just don't call me anything nasty.
On that note, I want to do since I got the screen pulled up, this kid too. I mean, he just got picked up by GT Boards, Drake Kinghorn, and he is one of those up and comers from Southern California, right here in San Diego. So
yeah, he's another one. He's next gen. I mean, he's been learning from Nels. He's been learning from the Hubs, and now he's signed on to ride for Guilherme Tamega.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just a Grom.
The future's wide open for this kid. And you know what? His brother Tanner is pretty legit talent as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, California, endless talent. I love watching guys ride. I mean, honestly, the last summer I rocked up to the wedge. It wasn't a big day, but it's still typical wedge, 2 to 4 foot. It'll still feel like it's trying to rip your arms and legs out. But and it had been the first time I rode there in like 12 years. And it was like, yeah, me and the wedge still are not friends. But anyway, just sitting on the beach watching guys go after it, the next gen, there's guys my age that are still trying to give it a go. And, I've seen guys carted off on stretchers and put in the back of an ambulance. I've seen guys our age still ripping, but watching the young guys, the upcoming generation, it's just an absolute joy and pleasure to see that the history and tradition of bodyboarding is being passed on here in Southern California.
Amen to that.
So,
yeah. We got a game to go watch.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to wrap things up. My Monday motivation is simply this: have a Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Natal, Joyeux Anniversaire. Wherever you want in the world, enjoy the holidays and enjoy the time with friends and family. And we'll see you in 2024.
Perfect. Thanks, you guys, for chiming in. Jeremy, you're the man.